Hello students, welcome to all of you. Today we are going to read Unit 3 of the chapter Nightingale and the Rose. So in Unit 2 we have discussed that at any cost it was the desire of the Nightingale to provide a red rose to the boy because according to the Nightingale the boy was a true lover. Okay. This time I am just mixing up Odia and English so that because some of the people are also speaking that video is becoming quite lengthy, so it's better to complete as soon as possible. So Unit 3, you just go through your book so that it would be easy for you to understand. The Nightingale came near the young student and promised to bring him a red rose, but wanted an assurance from him in return. So here what is mentioned, the Nightingale decided that at any cost he is going to provide a red rose to the student. Okay, so Nightingale कौन decide कला at any cost से student को गोटे नाली रंगर गोलाप फुलटी दबो, but in the meantime she wanted that the boy should make some promise, some assurance. जे ता बदल रे what was the desire of the Nightingale, that the boy should promise her something, and what is that is mentioned in this unit. Let's read it. The young student was still laying on the grass. And where was the young student? The young student was still laying on the grass. I have told you in the previous class that the boy just threw himself on the green grass and started crying by hiding, by burying his face. से पुओ तार मुह एमती लुचेकी कांदिबा आरंभ कर देइथिला घास उपरे सोई करी. Where she had left him, and the tears were not yet dry in his beautiful eyes. So what is mentioned here? Here you just see one thing, that is the boy was on the grass. Se pilate ghaso upare soithila. Where she had left him. It means what? Where the Nightingale had left him means Nightingale jiba purburu in the search of a red rose. Okay, Nightingale jiba purburu se puoti joti soithila sethi soithila Nightingale return porjanto. And the tears were not yet dry in his beautiful eyes. And here the boy's eyes are also beautiful, and tear was not dry. What does it mean? It means the tears were unstoppable. The tear was flowing from his eyes. It means se porjanto se pilati kanduthila. Be happy, cried the Nightingale. And the Nightingale started speaking. Be happy, khushi hoi jao. Be happy, you shall have your red rose. टिके खुशी हुओ, you will get your red rose because तुम्हें तुमरो नाली रंगर गोलाप फूल पाइबो. These words are being spoken by the Nightingale. I will build it out of music by moonlight. So what is the Nightingale speaking? I will build it. It means the Nightingale is going to construct the red rose by his voice, by her voice, and by the moonlit night. Okay, जह्न रातिरे जह्नर आलोरे नाइटिंगेल ता सुमधुर स्वर रे कौन करिवो से गोलाप फूलटी को तैयारी करिवो. And stain it with my own heart's blood and will make the rose colorful by taking the blood from my heart. एवं मो हृदय मो छातीर रक्त रे से गोलाप फूलटी को मु नाली रंग करबी. किए कहूची? Here this Nightingale is speaking to the boy that you don't worry, you are going to get the red rose. I will construct the red rose. At the same time, I will make the rose colorful by my heart's blood. All that I ask of you in return is that you will be a true lover. So what was the desire of the Nightingale? The Nightingale wanted that the boy should promise her that he will remain a true lover. Understood? Nightingale एतिके चाहूला जे से पुओटी ताको शपथ करू प्रॉमिस करी कहू जे से गोटे सच्चा प्रेमी हब. For love is wiser than philosophy. Then the Nightingale is speaking because love is wiser than philosophy. Philosophy दर्शन शास्त्र टू मध्य भल पाइबा होछि अधिक wise. Though he is wise and mightier than power, though he is mighty, and love is more powerful than any other thing. Okay, power to madhya love hochi more powerful. Flame colored. Flame means what? Near dhaso. Okay, near jolly jo oranges red color asiboni, that color is mentioned here. Flame colored are his wings. Wings. Listen, here it is mentioned his wings. It means huge. Wings of love. Okay. Premara dena. Understood? So, flame colored are his wings. So, here Nightingale is speaking that bhala paiba. Love ra wings ra rango hochi oranges red color. Agni ra rango. And colored like flame of his body. At the same time, the color, the body of love is colorful like the flame. Near rango pari, say premar bhala paibar bi complete sarara rango thila semiti color. Say type ro. His lips are sweet as honey and his lips are sweet as honey. Honey bhaliya, mohu bhaliya tara lips thila, otho gudiko mitha thila. And his breath is like frankincense. And his breath means the breath of the love is like frankincense. Frankincense means what? It means that we use to provide, means heavenly things. Jhuna. Okay. So, ebong taro niswasar basna kemti thila? Jhunar basna pari. So, here, listen. Here it is not mentioned on the boy because he is mentioned. So, he don't take the, means don't confuse that he is the boy here. No. Because boy's physical appearance is not mentioned here. The student looked up from the grass. So, what was the nightingale doing? The nightingale was speaking all these things. Understood? So, the student was laying on the grass. Suddenly he woke up. Suddenly he looked up. Suddenly se unti mundo teki dekhila. And listened. Ebong sunila. Kon sunla? The song of the nightingale. But he could not understand what the nightingale was saying to him. But the nightingale was singing a song. But the boy is unable to understand what the nightingale is singing. Kintu se pillati, se chhatrati बुझी पार नथिला जे से नाइटिंगेल कौन कहूची. For he only knew the thing that are written down in books, because human beings, we can't understand the words of the animals and birds. So here the boy was also able to understand the words that are written in the book only. जो जिनस बहिरे लेखा जाइथिला से जिनस ही से छात्रटी बुझी पारुथिला. Otherwise birds, animals, their language से बुझी पार नथिला. For example आमे भी बुझी परिबेनी. Okay. And but the oak tree understood. But oak tree कोड थिला? जो oak tree रे नाइटिंगेल घर कर रहिथिला से oak tree सुनिला, बुझी भी पारिला. And felt sad. And the oak tree was very unhappy. It was very sad. For he was only fond of the little nightingale who had built her nest in his branches. And here the oak tree is his male tree. Okay. So the oak tree was very fond of the nightingale. Oak tree nightingale को बहुत भल पाउथिला because the nightingale had built her nest in the oak tree, in the branches of the oak tree. से oak tree रो गच्छरे माने गच्छर डाल रे नाइटिंगेल कौन करथुला माने तार बस्सा बांधी के रहिथिला. सेति पई से oak tree नाइटिंगेल को बहुत भल पाउथिला. Sing me one last song, he whispered. Then in a slow voice, the tree is speaking. Kindly sing me the last song. Mo pai sheso gito gai dio. I shall feel very lonely when you are gone. It is mentioned when you are gone means when you die. Okay. So here the tree is speaking that when you die, I will feel very lonely. Tumara mrityu pare mu bahut ekutiya hoi jibi. So the nightingale sang to the oak tree and her voice was like water bubbling from a silver jar. And here the nightingale was started singing for the boy. And how was her voice? Her voice was bubbling because she was feeling, the nightingale might be feeling something choking. Because listen, she was going to die. She is going to accept death for the sake of the boy's love, not for her love. Okay. So her voice was trembling. When माने सिल्वर जार रे पानी फुटले जेमती बुड़बुड़ साउंड होबनी, नाइटिंगेल voice भी सेमिति साउंड होतुला. When she had finished her last song, the student got up and pulled a notebook and a lead pencil out of his pocket. And when the nightingale completed her song, the boy got up, नाइटिंगेल गीत सरिबा परे से पिलाटी कौन है ना उठिला उठिके कौन कला तार पॉकेट रु गोटे नोटबुक बाहर कला गोटे छोटिया कॉपी बाहर कला आ गोटे लीड पेंसिल गोटे पेंसिल भी बाहर कला सी हैज फॉर्म he said to himself. Now the boy is speaking on the nightingale that she is form तार फॉर्म अच्छी मीन्स गीत बोलिबार रिदम ताल स्वर सब किछि अच्छी एज he walked away through the garden. In the meantime the boy was walking away from the garden and he was thinking, but has he got feeling? The boy is thinking, is the nightingale having feeling? तार कोन किछि भावना अच्छी feelings अच्छी but think, who is having the feelings? The boy is having the feelings, the silly bird is having feelings. The bird is having feelings. Human being, the student is not having any feelings. I'm afraid I'm afraid not. Then the boy is speaking, mo bhaya karuchi je tar kichhi bhi feelings nahi. Means according to the boy, the nightingale is only singing and it's quite practical. She is not having any feelings. She is like most artists, she is all style and the nightingale is having the style. She is just like the artist, gote actor bhaliya nightingale. Aw tara bahut style re se gita bi boluchi without sincerity, but there is no sincerity. Okay, who is speaking? The boy is speaking. She would not sacrifice herself for others. What a stupid thing. The boy is speaking that the nightingale can't sacrifice herself for others. अन्य मानक पई nightingale निज को sacrifice करि परिबो नाही. She thinks merely of music because she thinks only music. The nightingale only thinks of music. Nightingale को केवल music गीत संगीत ही जणा आ किछि भी से जानिनी. Still it must be admitted that she has some beautiful notes in her voice. Still the boy admits that she is having some beautiful note in her voice. ता voice रे बहुत भल notes अछि. के कहछि एठी this boy is speaking. What a pity it is that they don't mean anything but कि करुण कथा means what you say what a silly thing एते भल गीत बोलुची but value कौन कहीं ना तार feelings नहीं. Who is speaking? The boy is speaking. Or do any practical good एवं the voice of the nightingale can't do any practical good to others. There is nothing good in the voice of the nightingale. And he went into his room, and by speaking this the boy went to his room and lay down on his little wooden bed and began to think of his love, and after a time he fell asleep. Then he just lay on his bed. से पिलाटी कौन कला छात्रटी ता रूम को गला रूम को जाइकी तार काठर खटरे से सोइला and started thinking about his lady love आ ता कथा भाभी भाभी कि से सोई पड़ला. Okay, so this is the unit 3. So here the theme is what? It's nothing, only the nightingale is expressing that she is going to help the student, means she is going to sacrifice her life in order to get a red rose, but in turn she doesn't need anything except a promise that the boy will be a true lover. Okay, but here what is the boy thinking? The boy thinking is that the nightingale is not having any feelings. There is no practical, means nothing practical is there. Means everything, no feelings, no sentimental, because the boy is thinking nightingale's mentality is practical. Okay, but it has no practical value to life. Life से तो nightingale voice रो किसी value नहीं. Only she is singing for the sake of singing. Okay, understood? So with this your unit 3 is over. All of you have a nice time. Next we are going to read unit 4. Okay, have a nice time.